What's the theme of our missions conference?
Sound the word.
What?
Sound the word.
Okay, I've asked Brother Plotsky if he would stand and read our theme verse. So
And
listen.
it's on the flag up there, the banner, 1 Thessalonians 1:8. For from you sounded out the word of the Lord, not only in Macedonia and Achaia, but also in every place your faith. God's word is spread abroad, so that we need not to speak anything.
Thank you, Bob. We are happy that you're here for the second week of our missions conference. And this is a really exciting time in our church. Normally, my husband asks me to interview the wives. However, this is not a wife. This is not even a husband yet. But we'll let him tell us about that later. Because we don't want any secrets out. All right. His name is Joshua McClure, and we welcome you very much to our church this morning, and hope that you'll get a warm welcome from our people. Joshua has a map over there beside him that will show you, especially you teenagers that want to see, that are learning geography and history and all that good stuff. You'll find out where he is going. Joshua, would you go over there and point to where exactly you are going to be a missionary?
If you look at the globe, you'll see, may be hard to see from where you are, but you'll see Hawaii over here, Japan, Australia. And it zooms in on an arch chain of islands, which is almost like in the middle of that square, if you will. And it zooms into all of these islands. I'll be going to the capital, which is Garapan. That's the city, and the island's name is Saipan. So it'll be this island right there.
Okay, very good.
In case you're wondering mileage, it's about 3,000 miles west of Hawaii.
Wow. All right, I want you to tell us, and this is not going to mean a lot, but it sounds a lot to me. If you had a straight flight, if you had just a straight flight to Saipan, Micronesia, how long would it take you to get there on a straight flight?
Straight flight, no stops. It would be about 16 hours.
16 hours. Now, do you ever get a straight flight?
No. You
No.
don't get a straight flight.
So how long does it usually take you since you don't get a straight flight?
About 36 hours.
Oh.
36 hours to get where you're going because of all the layovers and problems that arise, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And that's if I leave from the East Coast.
Where
the
do
West
you
Coast.
leave from?
If I'm towards the West Coast, I usually leave from Texas, though,
Okay.
which adds another hour or two. But going there, you lose a day because you cross the international date line.
Oh, yes.
So you've actually skipped a day. And then when you come back to the States, you go back in time. So you get to relive a day.
So you can go back in time.
Yes.
Okay, very good. But that's a long, long trip. 36 hours. Can you imagine going to visit your relative? I'll be there in 2 days. I mean,
And in case you're wondering
it's
the time over there right now, they're 16 hours ahead of us, which makes it 1:16 a.m. tomorrow morning.
tomorrow
Wow.
morning
Yes.
already. Wow, that's something. Very interesting. How large is Saipan, Micronesia?
The island, Saipan, is 5.5 miles by 12 miles. So it's kind of a small speck of dirt in a vast ocean.
So it's not a very big place that,
No.
that you're going to.
No, but the population is about 65,000, so
Ooh.
it's dense.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of people for a small island like that.
Yes.
Very much so. Who will you be working with?
I'm going to be working with David and Dorothy McClure, which are my grandparents, and they need assistance. They're getting up there, and so the Lord has burdened my heart to work with them and help them out. And so I'll be working with them. Yeah.
So he'll be working with his grandparents, and he just left from working with his parents, who are where?
My parents are in Palau, which if you're closer, I can show you a little dot on that globe, but you can't see it in the zoomed up thing. Anyways, they're working on an island called the Republic of Palau, which is about 1,200 miles south of where I will be.
That's good that you're going to help your parents since they're getting up in age. Watch what you say about that. Around
It
people
takes
that
a
are
lot of
getting
work
up
to
in
get there.
age. And now you're here making home base with your Aunt
Yes.
Darlene.
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, well, that's great that I know your grandparents are proud of you and are looking forward to having you work. When were you saved?
I was saved at the age of 7 in 1995.
Where were you born?
I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida, so I'm a true Floridian.
I would have thought you would have been born, I guess, when I was talking to him, born on one of the fields.
Yeah,
Since
yeah.
your parents and grandparents.
Well, I've lived all my life over there. When I was born in St. Pete in 88, and then when I was 2 years old, which was 1990, we all moved to Jamaica. And so I lived for the next 10 years till I was 12 in Jamaica. And then came back to the States for about a year. Then we went to Palau. And the rest of my life I've lived over there. So
So,
though I was born here, I'm not actually American.
you don't know what you are, do you?
No.
What languages do you speak? What did you speak in Jamaica? Did you speak?
They have a language there, it's called patois. However, I've lost the accent, and if I listen to it, I can understand it, but I can't really speak it anymore unless I'm around them. And so patois is like a slang of English mixed with the British way. And so you've got the boot and the bonnet and other things like that, different measurements. And if you're just speaking regular English, let me say American English, you don't understand it. And I've also learned, though, because I moved to Palau, I learned how to speak Palauan and sign language as well, because we used to use that in Jamaica.
Oh.
So, yeah. And I'm still working on English, so
Still working on English.
Yes.
We have all the other languages, but you're still working on
still working on that one.
Being a preacher's child and grandchild,
Mm-hmm.
and even though you were saved at 7 years of age, were you ever rebellious?
Oh, was I ever rebellious? No, I'm perfect.
No. Okay. So when did you give your life to the Lord to preach?
Well, I got saved at 7, and I guess just like any other kid, you just want to have fun and play games and eat food. When you get into the teens, you're just food. You want to eat. That's how teenage boys are. And girls entered the picture, and popular things like music and other stuff entered the picture. But I didn't consider myself to be very bad, because I thought, you know what, I'm not cursing. I'm not hooking up with boyfriends, girlfriends. I'm not doing this and that, so I'm pretty good. But I think it was when I was 15, I finally realized, God's standards are a lot higher than my standards. Even though I don't think I'm that bad, I'm still just as bad as everybody else. And I was looking at the wrong standard. I was looking at everybody else saying, I'm pretty good. But in reality, I wasn't. And that's when my friends actually started asking me when I had my first job, they said, well, come on, you should smoke. Just try it. Or chew. Out there, chewing is very big. And I'm not talking about chewing tobacco. I'm talking about betel nut. They're a little nut that you crack in half, you put lime in it, you put leaves, and you put cigarette, and you put other stuff in there, and you just chew on it. Turns your mouth red, decays your teeth, you look ugly. It's nasty. And they spit everywhere. Anyways, they were saying that I should try it, and I'm like, no. If my parents ever caught me, I'd be dead. But then they're like, your parents aren't here? And it's not like we're going to tell on you. Everybody's doing it, so try it. And that is very big to a teenager. When all the peer pressure is telling you, everyone's doing it, come on, you can do it. I thought to myself, wow, I really could do it. But why don't I? And that made me realize I need to start making God's right and wrong my right and wrong. I can't tell people I won't do it because my parents said so. Why? Because I'm getting older. My parents won't always be around. What do I need to do? I'm not going to do it because God says no. And it was at 15 when I really gave my heart and life to God. But it wasn't until I was 19 when I surrendered to preach. So yeah, 15 and 19.
15 and 19. Very
Wow.
good.
Amen.
Well, it's nice to know that you were normal. But you know, you don't have to be normal, do you?
No?
You can
No.
serve the Lord very young.
Oh, yes.
We don't have to wait until we've passed the teenage years
Very true.
or older years. And so it's so very good this morning to see all these teenagers here,
Mm-hmm. It is.
because
Very
they
much so.
need to be thinking about serving the Lord now if they're not already doing so.
Amen.
Mhm. Seek Him while you're young.
Yes. Let's see. How about one question from out there before we go with mine? Anybody got a question? Real quick. Deanna.
I've always wanted to ask this question. When you said you were 19, when you felt like you were called,
Mm-hmm.
at what particular time and moment did you really grasp the fact that God was calling you to something special?
She was, in this case, she didn't hear. She was asking, at what point in time in my life did I actually know that God was grasping at my heart and calling me to preach? Well, a lot of times I grew up with this idea that there would be this one time where God would just get a hold of me. But God, more frequently than not, doesn't necessarily work that way. He worked in me from a young age. It's like, I'm reminded, I think it was Ezekiel, that there came a great wind, then there came a great earthquake, and then there came lightning and storms, but God wasn't in that. Where was He in? A still, small voice. And God was working all through my childhood and teens by going to churches like y'all's, and people would come up to me and say, "You're so blessed to have parents like your parents. You're so blessed to be raised in the ministry." And I was thinking, yeah, sure, whatever. I didn't know any better. But I was just constantly hearing this, and people were like, "You know what? You're going to be a preacher one day." I'm like, not me. I did not want to be a preacher, didn't want to be a missionary. I didn't like all the traveling around. But what I didn't realize at that age was that my parents were doing what God wanted. They weren't doing what they wanted. They were doing what God wanted. And so they were serving God. And it was through those experiences, people like you who encouraged me and challenged me, and through the years, the Lord changed my heart from me saying, "I don't want to be this," to the point where I said, "You know what? I want to please God, no matter what it is." And even up till I was 19, I already knew, because the Lord had changed my desires and changed my heart. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I wanted to do that. But I was afraid of the unknown. And I said, I don't know. I'm afraid of this. And even though I knew in my heart, I still said, all right, well, I need to pray. And so at 19 was when the Lord got a hold of me. I got sick one day, and my leg was all swollen with poison tree, which is kind of like a poison oak or poison ivy. And my leg had swollen to a rather large size that the skin was stretched to its limit. I had to go to the doctor. They rubbed steroid cream all over it, and it didn't go down any. And I thought, this is as good of any time to pray. And so I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to pray and get some specific direction from you. My toes now, they're like sausages. They were. Okay? I couldn't bend them, nothing. I had to keep my leg up, because by putting it down, all the blood would rush down and it would hurt. So I didn't go to church. This was on a Friday. I went to the hospital. Then Sunday night, it was still the same. And I said, all right, Lord. Made sure my heart was right with God. Made sure there's no unconfessed sin. Make sure I was sincere. And He tells us, ask and you shall receive. Mm-hmm. And He says that we know that we have the petition that we desire Him if we just ask Him. And I needed some specific direction. So I said, Lord, if you want me to serve full time, and I understand this won't be the same for everybody. But I prayed and I said, Lord, if you want me to serve full time, then by tomorrow morning have my foot, just my foot, not my leg, but my foot, go down. And my foot be back to normal. I must have been praying for like an hour and a half or something. I was so nervous, scared of the unknown. We scare ourselves. And I went to bed, and the next morning, woke up and my foot was normal.
Wow.
My foot was back to normal. My leg was still swollen, but my foot was back to normal. Now for me, people can say that's coincidence, or that's just something else. For me, that's assurance in my heart, and the Lord constantly says that we need to be assured for ourselves. We need to know in our relationship with Him. So for me, I never have to look back at my life and my decisions that I've made to this point and say, if only, or what if I had taken a different path? No, because I know this is the best path for me. So Was there any one point? No, the Lord was working on me entirely throughout my life. But it was at that time when I prayed and got clear answers that I said, all right, Lord, I'm selling out. I'm going to follow you. I've never looked back.
Amen.
Yeah.
Good, very